Okay, so this is it, the big day of the reveal of the new private hire taxi. I'm going to be using it for airport transfers and occasionally Uber Comfort. So let's have a quick look at what I opted for. Yep, I went for the ID4. So, fantastic car. Main reasons why I went for the ID4 is that enormous boot. Plenty of space in the boot for luggage, so I should be able to carry four full-size suitcases without any problems. Second reason why I went for the ID4 is a turning circle. It's a big car, but the turning circle is really quite small. Now, if you look at an average car, turning circle is about 35 feet. A purpose-built London taxi is 25 feet. My Hyundai Ioniq has a turning circle of 35 feet. The Ioniq 5 has a turning circle of 38 feet. And the Tesla has a turning circle of 36 feet. This, despite its size, has a turning circle of 33 feet. And that makes it ideal for all of those three-point turns that you have to do as a taxi driver. Right, the other thing is the size of the back door entry. It's a big entry into the back door. Now, the Polestar was very small and very cramped for getting in if you was a larger person or an elderly person with mobility issues. You would find it hard to get into the Polestar. But this has big doors, big entry, and perfect for getting child seats in. So, child seats are not going to be an issue. And of course, there's no prop shaft well there, so it's a flat floor all the way across. Couple of USB-C ports in the back. Very comfortable. I'm going to get these some seat covers for these because these side ones are okay, but interior wise it's Vela, so not great. So let's move on to a quick first thoughts that I did when I was driving back from Reflex yesterday. Well, so I've driven up from Reflex out to Reading, which is about 40 miles, and I'm averaging 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So I'm very happy with that. That's not doing too badly. But you've got to bear in mind, because of that wait at the start, I was there for an hour and a half before I booked in at 2, 3:30 before they saw me. It means I've hit traffic all the way down the M4. So I'm averaging around 60 to 65 miles an hour. And I'm getting 4.2. So I expect that to drop if I can drive at a fairly decent rate. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, I was really frustrated down at Reflex because of the wait. I was getting well pissed off. But just to drive down from Reading, I am loving this car. It's such a nice, comfortable car to drive. Very smooth, very quiet, quite responsive, but not too responsive. VW built the ID4 to be very much like driving a normal car. So you haven't got that immediate punch of a lot of electric cars. You've got a nice, smooth acceleration. And this car will cruise. So going down the motorway, if you're thinking ahead, you take your foot off and you'll just cruise along quite happily. So if you think ahead, that can really help with your fuel economy. Or the other one, you've got a switch you can just turn on the brake mode where you get a bit of much more regen braking. But again, it's not as powerful as a lot of cars. Certainly not as powerful as stage 1 on my Ioniq Hybrid. So it is quite like driving a normal car. You haven't got that instant punch or that quite rapid deceleration. Very comfortable. Suspension's not too bad. Riding the potholes, not too bad. It's obviously not a luxury car, so you're not soaking it all up, but very comfortable drive. I'm very happy with this. I've stopped off at the Tesla. It's averaging between sort of 58 and 76 kilowatt charge rate. I'm charging up to 80% because I think I had about 38% left because there was only about half filled down from Reflex, which wouldn't get me home. So I'm going to do this up to 80%. It's currently at 72, and I've been here about 15 minutes. So it's probably okay, very happy with that. But generally, it's a very nice car. Now, there are some things that are missing compared to the Ioniq. It's only got 2 USB ports in the front, which are USB-C ports, so my normal USB cables can't fit, which is great, so I can't charge my phone up until I get home and get some new cables or an adapter. There is no 12-volt adapter in the front of this car. There's one in the boot, but there's nothing in the front. And that's surprising, because it means there's a lot of stuff you can't plug in. However, I do plan on fixing that. Either I'm going to run a super long extension lead from the back, which I probably won't do, but might do. Alternatively, I'm going to have a hunt around in this fuse box to see if there's a port I can plug into and wire in a 12-volt supply. Because you need a 12-volt supply for things like dash cams, rapid phone chargers. I mean, these are just basic 5-watt chargers. They're not rapid chargers for phones. They'll barely keep your phone up to date with the power you use. Other things I'm missing. This car doesn't have electric chairs. Electric adjustment. It's manual, which is a bit of a shame. I've got used to the electric of the Ioniq. So I'm at 75% now. The other thing, I mean, I've been driving around 60, 65. I've had my air conditioning on set to 18, so the fan's been blowing. So that's where I got that 4.1, 4.2 miles per kilowatt from. So that's not too bad. It's going to take a bit of time getting used to the dealing with the dashboard to get into things. But I'll sort out all the settings that I want at some stage. Loads of space in the back, fantastic in the back. But yeah, that's about it on this quick first impression. Very happy with the comfortable drive. All my pressures, all my stress, all my rage from waiting around an hour and a half at Reflex for the car has gone. Such a comfortable drive. So let's get ready for this unplugging of my first ever charge at Tesla. I may drive down to Celtic Manor now and just pop in and do another charge up at the Celtic Manor. But price-wise, £15.75 so far for 35 kilowatt hours. Can't complain. Okay, so I've done an 80% charge and it's telling me I've got a range of 242 miles on 80%. So that should cover me for quite a lot of the work available, especially around Bristol Airport ones and also to Cardiff Airport ones. The Heathrow ones I will probably have to do a charge up en route, probably with a passenger on board. So I think, because I'm going to have to plan the strategy of using the electric car, I think I might try and concentrate on those Bristol ones. Because Bristol Airport's a very busy airport. It's a main airport really for South Wales. Cardiff doesn't do a lot of flights. So I think I could do that. Especially from Cardiff and Swansea is not a problem. Do a round trip. Saying that, Heathrow does have some Tesla chargers at terminals 2 and 3. So we're not too far away from a charger. And it's about 130, 140 miles to Heathrow from Newport. We have to go down to Swansea to pick up. That's an extra 100, 120 miles on top. So we'll see. We'll plan it as it goes and see how it goes. I'm willing to give it a good try and to try and make it work. And I'm sure it will. Yeah, it works really well, real comfortable, really responsive. The adaptive cruise control works really well. Probably the only thing I might want to have a look at the settings is the lane assist, because it keeps pinging you when you try and the potholes, and it tells you to try and drive in the centre of the lane. They should have a British road setting for pothole swerving. But apart from that, really responsive, works really well, keeps track of the cars in front without a problem at all. So yeah, the adaptive cruise control is very good. It's also a very quiet ride. Really is nice. You just get a little bit of road noise. Get a tiny bit. I'm getting a tiny bit of wind noise coming from the side here. But apart from that, it's just such a quiet car. I can hear cars overtaking me. I can hear their engines as they overtake me. It's quite strange, but very nice. Now, the only issue I have with the interior of the car is the seats. They've got a velour type seat, and that's going to be hard to keep clean. So I'm going to see. Well, I did have a quick look on Amazon last night, and there are some quite good seat covers for about £44-45 for the ID4, which are sort of leather-like, washable, and wipeable and waterproof. So that's going to be something I'm going to look at. I'm not sure whether it's got a slot for the armrest, but it's so nice to have an armrest where you want it to be, which is close by on your body, and you can just drop your arm on. So just telling me again to keep in lane, in the centre of the lane. I've not been drinking, honestly. It is a potholes. So that's a handy feature I've just noticed going through those roadworks. It recognises road signs, and it'll set your speed on your adaptive cruise control to the relevant speed of the speed sign. So it recognised to 50 and dropped the speed down to 50, recognised to 40, dropped it down to 40, and then when it got through roadworks and it saw the national speed limit, it took me back up to 70. So that's quite a handy feature to have. Now this is the, I think it's a base model. It's the VW ID4 Pro Life version, which is the base model. Next one up is Family, and then I think the next one is another one. But this is performance, so it's got a large 77 kilowatt hour battery, and it's just very, very nice to drive, very responsive, very comfortable. Yeah, I'm loving this. With it being an SUV, you set up quite high so you get a good view of the road ahead, but it doesn't feel like a heavy car, even though it is a heavy car. It's just drives like a normal car really. It's very comfortable, very, very nice. Now the radio is nice, got a nice sound to it. It's DAB radio. I'm not sure how I get Android Auto to work, so that's what I'll be looking at on the internet tonight. I'll be looking at how to get my phone to connect up. Is it wired or is it only wireless? I don't know. Now, one of the things I did while I was at the Tesla charger station was I put the car into online mode and downloaded a software update. Don't know what the update was, but I downloaded it. So my software is now totally up to date. And it was pretty seamless, really. After it downloaded, it told me to stop the car, lock it up, and walk away for 5 minutes. And then when I get back, it'll reboot with the new updates operating. Painless. Yeah, I have to admit, after the last couple of nights where I've had sleepless nights, wondering if I'm going to do the right thing by taking on the EV, I'm going to go to bed tonight, grinning like a Cheshire cat, because I'm very happy with the way everything's going. And then once it gets plated on Monday, I hopefully should have the items, the plates on the car by Friday, and hopefully the weekend I'll be working. But the old Ioniq has to go back to taxi rentals on Thursday. So if you're in Cardiff, or if you've got a Newport badge and you're looking for a very nice rental, £220 a week, very nice car, all the top notch, very comfortable, very high-tech. Got heated seats, driver's seats, got an air conditioning refrigerator on it, so it cools you in the summer. Everything's electric. It's such a nice car, really good to drive. Delivers about 60 miles to the gallon. Then get in touch with Taxi Rentals and try and book it before it goes, because you'll be quite impressed with it. It's very nice. Right, for the first 3 months of the car, it's covered by Reflex Assist. So if I have breakdown or accidents or anything like that, it's covered by that. But after 3 months, there's no breakdown cover. And I'm not sure how good Reflex Assist are. I haven't seen their details. So I could go and try and get my gold status back from Uber, which I don't think I'll do, but I could, in which case I'll get AA cover, breakdown cover free, but it's quite limited. They've only got 25-mile recovery, no home start or anything like that. So I think I'll probably go for the full-on RAC taxi breakdown cover. That includes home start and nationwide recovery. So with the distances I do, it's going to be good. And that's about £21–22 a month, which I think's a good deal. There shouldn't be too much to go wrong with this, being an EV, but you never know. I'm going to have to check if that RAC cover covers you if you should accidentally run out of charge, or you can't find anywhere to charge up at. If not, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of policy somewhere that I can sign up to get sort of a recovery charge into the car should I make a mess of things on my distances. But yeah, it's nice. Okay, so I've just pulled in Celtic Manor to do another charge. I was at 46%, so I use about 50% coming up here. One of the issues that I have with the VW is that Tesla's charge points are on the offside rear, passenger side rear, whereas my charger is on the driver's side rear, which means I have to pull into a bay and use the wrong charger to charge up. They need to be a little bit longer, these leads do, at the Teslas. But I'll stay in the car just in case it gets busy, then I'll unplug early so they've got space to go in. But let's have a quick look at the figures. So I've done 89 miles from Reading at 55 miles an hour. I was able to put my foot down a little bit outside of the roadworks, so I pushed it a little bit, which meant that my average since charge is 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's not 3.7. I'll tell you what, that's not too bad really when you consider that. It's a little bit more expensive than the Ioniq Hybrid because I could get 60 to the gallon. But this is a much bigger car. So you need to be able to compare this with something like the Tiguan, the VW Tiguan diesel. And that does about 45–50 miles to the gallon. So taking that into account, this is probably on a par with a diesel Tiguan, mileage-wise. Now, of course, that's just me in the car. I have a sneaky suspicion that once I start to put passengers and a load of luggage in the back, that's going to drop quite a lot, quite rapidly. So we'll see what happens as we start to use this a bit more. Now, I don't seem to be getting much faster than 64 kilowatts. I did go up to shortly for 74 down at Reading. But this car's rated for 125 kilowatt input. Nowhere near that, it's about half that. So I don't know if there's a setting somewhere I need to deal with to sort that out. It could be because it's quite filled at the moment. Quite a lot of the Tesla charge stations are filled. I think about 10 of the 12 are in use. So that could be the reason why I'm only getting 63 kilowatts. I wonder if I get an extension plug so I could use the correct side and just have a little bit of an extension lead onto the Tesla charger thing. I don't know. Okay, so that charge came down to £10.35 for 90 miles. So you're looking at 10, 11, maybe about 12 pence a mile, just over 12 and a half pence a mile, something like that. So just slightly more than the Ioniq hybrid. So that's not too bad considering how big this car is. I'll lose a bit more efficiency when I've got passengers and luggage, but I'm not too concerned, to be honest with you. It was a worry, but it's not now. Quick extra little bit to put it in. Forgot to mention financing of the VW ID4. The cost was £199 a week over 5 years, and insurance £70 a week. So total cost £269 a week. Now I had to put a £299 deposit down, so that's okay. So that's my cost, £269. I have a mileage allowance of 40,000 a year, which is about 3,330 miles a month. After which the cost is 8 pence per mile. And what happens with that is it's all added together over the course of your rental, and that lump sum is used to reduce the time of your rental. So even though it's over 5 years, my contract is, looking at the sort of mileage I'm going to be doing and the extra payments of that 8p a mile I'm going to be making, I reckon it's going to be less than 4.5 years before it's all paid off. So that fits in really well with the time until I get my state pension and I can stop working part-time. So yeah, financially not too bad at all. A little bit over my £250 a week budget, but for the car, I think the car is excellent. I really do, and it's well worth the extra. Right, so there was issues regarding availability. The Polestar was out of stock. The ID5 was out of stock, and I'd have gone for the ID5 if it wasn't available because of the faster charging times. But the ID4 was perfect. The Tesla I looked at, I didn't like the minimalist look inside. I like having dials. So the Tesla was no good with the central tablet control panel. The other one was the Ioniq 5, which I really like the look of. I like the styling of the Ioniq 5. But two issues there was that it's a hatchback. This is a fully fledged estate, so much easier to stack suitcases in. Much more usable storage space in the ID4. And the turning circle. You know yourself as an Uber driver, as a taxi driver, you do a lot of U-turns, and you do a lot of trying to do 3-point turns, turning around and tight parking spaces. So the turning circle on this really does edge out the Ioniq 5. But apart from that, yeah, very impressed with the drive yesterday. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Let's start the adventure now on these long distance taxi rides in an EV. Can it be done? Can it be done? We'll soon see. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share. Until next time, happy driving.